Welcome to the Nightly Brew. This is Haley.
And this is Erica. You can listen in on Apple Podcasts, our page on Facebook, The Nightly Brew, and you can also find us on YouTube.
So you know how the coronavirus is going on and how we all have to quarantine and stay in our houses, and it can really take, effect of your mental health and all that.
Yeah, being stuck at home with, two kids and they don't understand what's going on. They're young, so they want to go out. They want to go do things that we were able to do last summer, and trying to explain to them that a lot of things are closed, and, if we do go, we have to wear a mask, and we can't, be in there and touch everything. And so yeah, it gets to you just from the fact that even if you don't have kids, because you're like, I'm used to going out, I'm used to going to go shop when I want to go shop, I'm used to go sit down at a restaurant, talk to friends, have everybody over, and now it's like you can't even have people in your own house.
Right. And everyone's been suggesting, since we're in the technology age, to FaceTime everyone. We got Zoom meetings, Zoom schooling, all that. Well, actually, the virtual world has been making everyone's depression worse. Now they're saying it's 1 in 4 a teenager is being diagnosed with depression because they're seeing themselves on these screens.
These little screens, and it makes everything look so much bigger than what it is.
They're like, they're looking at themselves hours at a time, a day, and they're not liking what they see. And the American Society of Plastic Surgery, or surgeons, said that their facelifts, Botox, all that stuff has risen by 878%. People are getting all this different work done so that they can be able to see themselves in, the monitor and their phones, just and feel better.
Look at themselves, or so people who are looking at them, they don't feel like they're being judged. Like, Jesus, you really let this quarantine get to you.
Right.
I could see looking at yourself for so long, you start to see every little imperfection. You start to see, oh man, maybe I have gained some weight since we've been locked down and all I can do is eat. But there are other, ways around that, and a lot of it is just the technology making you look bigger than what you are.
Yeah.
It's a lot of...
It's all angles and lighting.
Yeah.
Any Instagram model will tell you that.
They can just... If you just do it the right way. I mean, it's sad to hear that it's a lot of teenagers also, because they already go through enough in high school dealing with what they deal with. And you got to worry about, now you're on virtual, and you're out in this world of online way more than what you was before. And that was, before this, everybody was online constantly, but now that's all there is to do. So it had to have risen, how much screen time people are on right now.
Right. They try to say, instead of going out, FaceTime your family, FaceTime your friends, and that's actually becoming a problem. We're such social creatures. We have that lack of intimacy with other humans, and
by the time we are able to see people, we're not going to know how to react. It's going to be like raising Neanderthals again. I can't say that word, but you're going to have to retrain a lot of people of how to have social interactions and understand social cues. And the kids who are growing up in this now are going to have a harder time understanding proper social cues.
I'm allowed to hug my friend even. You're allowed to touch other people, consensually, your friends, holding hands and all that. They're gonna think that's taboo.
Yeah, it's not going to be something that's seen anymore, and they're not going to understand that, that was how we greeted people. That's how we said goodbye to people,
I bet the Europeans are freaking out because they can't double cheek kiss anymore.
I mean, I didn't ever go that far, but that's their culture. I can't say anything. My sons, they already have issues with social cues, and I know this is making it a lot harder because they don't understand that You can't run up to somebody you used to know in school and, get in there, talk to them, or, like right close as you would when they were in school. You gotta be, at that distance. You have to just wave. You can't touch. You can't. So it is hard, and I can see the depression and stuff getting a lot worse than what
I
it already
also
is.
think that's where this whole Karen thing started, because, you got bad customers and stuff in retail and all that, but it's out of control. Like, every single person that comes into a store now, like, doesn't know how to talk to people. They instantly freak out. It's instant gratification of something. And
It is, and a lot of the workers are getting verbally abused. I know there were some stores, I'm not going to say names because I don't want to, like, get into that, but there were a few retail companies that were stating that they're not going to force people to wear masks because it's for the safety of their workers. Because they have those workers who are supposed to be like, hey, before you enter the store, can you please put on a mask?
Yeah.
We have some available. And they're getting physically assaulted because they're telling people to put these masks on. And so now a couple of those bigger chains are like, it's not worth us losing our employees getting hurt, for us to stop, the one and few people who come in thinking that, they're okay, they can just go without a mask. Now some stores are putting, actual police departments in their stores to help with that, but those officers need to be needed somewhere totally else, and now we have to put them in a store because people don't know how to keep their fucking calm.
right. I just think that's why this whole Karen thing, the memes started, and all these, older white women are freaking out because they're set. We think we're set in their ways. They're set in their ways, and everything's changing. It seems daily. They're being told something new, and
Yeah,
it's like
and I was on TikTok and I heard like one of the videos had popped up, and there's a group of people, and it's mainly women, who are going around saying that they're part of some kind of association, that they don't have to wear masks because of the association they're in.
oh,
They're wearing these fake badges, like, and they're going up to retail workers and, like,
you can buy those on Etsy.
yeah, but it's like, they're getting into these workers' face. Like, I watched one where this poor girl was just trying to do her job. This lady had her up against a shelf. And this little girl she was small. She had to be a teenager, just, trying to work because that's all she can do. And she was against this shelf and, like, trying to, like, duck out of the way. And this lady's, like, in her face, putting her badge in her face. And I'm like, it's all over the place. And a lot of people are like, no, that's fake. They can't come up to you like that. They can't do that. They have to wear their mask. And it's just, then they have this group of people who are wearing these lace masks. So all it is a piece of lace over their face.
Oh, I've seen those, the clear masks.
Yes, and it's like, well, technically it's a mask. No, it's really not. Like, you're still able to spit on me. You're still able to, like, physically breathe. Like, yes, the surgical mask, they don't stop everything, but they do stop enough to where if I'm, walking down the aisle next to you, you breathing or sneezing or something, it's not going to have as much effect on me and my kids as if you're wearing a freaking piece of lace over your face.
Wow.
And I'm sorry, but if that was... I seen somebody today walk into the store, and they were walking around, they had their mask on when they got in the store, and as soon as they got past the front people, they took their mask off and just walked the store. I'm like, just wear it in the store. If you can't do it in the store, don't go to the store.
There's pickup.
Yeah, there's pickup, there's Ship, that company that delivers your stuff to you, there's DoorDash, there's Uber Eats, there's all these different things that will bring you your groceries or bring you your food that you have to have. Don't bother walking in the store and risking everybody else. Like, I don't use credit cards, so I have to go to the store. So when I'm there, I don't want you and your germs thinking that you run something and you can just walk the world and do what you want to do. That's my biggest thing.
Well, on a lighter note, some people are figuring it out with this whole corona stuff, because we were talking how we're worried about how the rest of the year is going to go and how long this is going to last. Like, we've canceled so many plans. You know, you can't go to the zoo, you can't go to aquariums, you know, without risking, you know, your life. But Tokyo right now, Tokyo, Japan, they're doing these drive-in, not like a theater, but like a haunted house. Like, you drive into this little, like, section or garage or something, and they give you an audio file to play, and as you're listening to it in your car, the actors are, you know, banging on your car, shaking it, pouring blood all over it. Like, you get the whole experience. And, you know, I don't know about you, but if I get scared in a haunted house, I'm booking it.
So you're just gonna, like, boom out there?
Yeah. I think they take the keys. I hope they take the keys.
The poor actors.
But
that sounds amazing, and I know there's, like...
I hope we adapt that.
Well, in our area, we do have, like... It's not, like, a haunted house drive-through yet, but it's a haunted car wash. So, like, you could drive through...
Of course, because freaking... I don't know, Ohioans are obsessed with the car wash and the pretty colors. Like, your kids are always like, let's go to the car wash. Let's go to the car wash.
Well, I mean, it would be cool for, like, if it's raining or something. And now, since, you know, they can't really... You can drive through, it's quick. It's not super scary for the kids. Even if it is, they're in their car, they feel safe. They can throw... You know, they can be protected enough in their minds. But they have that, and then now there's a new thing where it's, like, the Jurassic Expo, where you can drive through it. And all of those fake dinosaurs that used to come to the convention center, they're now set up in, like, these woods and things, and they peek out, and they move around, and they walk along inside the car, and so that's another option that they're starting to bring out, you know, and then the Christmas lights.
I wouldn't do that with something haunted, though. Like I said, I hope they take the keys, or
the
else.
only thing about the haunted that would scare me is that fake blood going to stain my paint? Is that fake blood going to come off my car?
I am okay with all of this, but you gotta wash my car afterwards. Like everyone grab a sponge.
Like, I make a lot of payments on this car, and I really, really don't want my paint stained or ruined, because if I ever do have to send it back, that's one more thing for them to take, you know.
Or they're shaking your car, and you're like, wait, my tie rod. Not too aggressive.
Well, with the Jeep, you know, they shake it too much, it's just gonna go. What are they gonna do? Like, me and my kids are in the car just sitting sideways, and they're just like, oh, well, maybe we went a little too hard. Because, I mean, just a little bit of wind makes it rock.
Is this the contact version?
Did I pay premium? Because I really don't want it. Take it back. Flip me over. Let me go. I would get so mad. I would find a way out of the car, because I know I could probably climb through the passenger seat depending on what side they rolled me out on. But in the van, I would just hit that trunk button, and they'd see me come flying through the back. Like, excuse me, this has a bad joint in it, and you just fucked it up more.
What are they gonna do about the overdramatic bitches that, you know, will open the car door and just, like, run out, like... Alright, show's over, everyone's got COVID. Everyone's gotta get tested now.
Oh no, like, it's gonna sound off the alarms for, like, the purge, and, like, this biohazard noise going off, and people are gonna stop what they're doing automatically, and security is gonna be like, what was she wearing? Like, what's her name? And it's just gonna go out on the loudspeaker, and she's gonna be hunted, like, she's, like, a fucking animal in the woods. Oh man, I don't think if you can't handle a regular haunted house, please don't do a drive-through one, because I could see that being dangerous for everybody. But that, and then, you know, we have the Christmas lights that are also, like, drive-through. So
yeah,
I know there you don't have enough room to, like, zoom off. So I mean,
if you're scared of Christmas lights, just stay home for the rest of your life.
Saying, like, if they didn't like the Christmas lights, but that, you know, the main one is a big hill, so I don't think you'd have to, like, floor it unless you drew off into the woods. Like, you just yeeted the car to the left real quick. But even then, that's a steep hill, so I would be interested to see if it comes over here to us.
Yeah.
Because I would be the first person to be in it. I love Halloween. So.
I don't want Halloween to be canceled, you know? Like, okay, yeah, it sucks, can't get the free candy from the kids and stuff, but, like, I want to see the costumes, I want to see the decorations.
Well, I know a lot of people are still talking about, like, decorating, at least for the kids to see. But you gotta think, a lot of these older kids who have been Halloween like trick-or-treating for years, and then all of a sudden now they're like, now you can't go.
No.
How are they going to feel? They're going to be so lost, so confused. And then I think we're talking about now, if they do physically cancel Halloween, like trick-or-treating, we're going to just set something up in the house. Like, everybody's going to go in a bedroom, shut the door, the kids get to wear their costume, knock on the door, get their candy. That way it's not going to be as fun, but we have enough room in that backyard, too. We could set something up, and they could make it worth what they would get. Of course, it wouldn't be free candy, because I have to buy it. But,
I know, that's the crappy part. Like, oh, I gotta pay for the candy this year.
Yeah, like, this year I can't, like, bribe my kids just to give me their boxes of candy that they
Parent
make.
tax. I gotta make sure this one isn't poisoned.
I have to check it before you can eat it. But in our neighborhood, my mom's neighborhood, they give her the best candy. Like, there's one house who gives out king-size candy bars. I'm gonna miss that. That's the part I'm gonna miss. And then we had one year, a lady ran out of candy, and she started handing out ramen noodles and Mountain Dew. And I'm like, Ethan, go get me one of those. Like, I need one right now. So, that's one of those holidays that everybody's wants to participate in. They want to be there. They want to watch the kids have fun. All the kids running around.
Even people without kids are like, time to get spooky. Right, it's like it's July.
they decorate their house. They hand out candy. They have all the people who sit out like their garages or their driveways with their fire pits and their blankets, and they got music playing, and that's the part that's going to be missed a lot. Is like just everybody enjoying it as much as possible, and we might not have that this year, and that's what's going to suck the most.
I hope not. Everyone's saying, like, oh, COVID will be over after the election. It'll be just a distant memory. And it's like, damn it, election isn't until November.
I really hope that maybe our government did create it. Like, it will be over. Like, I know that's not how
they have the virus locked and loaded.
Like, they know. They have a cure. They're just not telling us yet.
Well, Bill Gates and his wife have been funding the vaccine so far. Russia's got one already made, but it's only 50-60% effective right now. They're still running tests on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we would have automatically done what some of the other countries like Sweden had done as soon as that first hit came, I believe we would have been able to control this a lot better.
Right.
But we're Americans, and for some reason we feel like
we don't listen.
We're very, I love America, but we're very privileged, and we did not listen when they warned us. They warned us a lot.
And all this stuff coming out, with the government and whatnot, and the president we have, nobody trusts them. Even if they do come out with a vaccine, everyone's gonna be side-eyeing it like, I'll see how it goes. I'm not gonna get it right now, but
well, then they have all these people who are talking about they're gonna force you to take it. They're gonna force you to take that vaccine. Like,
fear tactics, yeah.
No,
you're just making the situation worse.
Like, no, they're not. If that was the case, can we please force the bitches who don't vaccinate their kids?
Measles coming to come back.
Come on, like smallpox. Yeah. Can we force that?
Let's work on polio.
Like, please. Let's not force the coronavirus vaccine. Let's force all the other fucking vaccines. Like, then, that leads to the schools. If they don't force the kids to they can't come to school unless they're vaccinated, then that's just going to spread even more,
It's a new vaccine and stuff. Like, what if they require it to go back to school? Like,
right. Like, they had that for, like, there's some shots that you have to have or you cannot come to school. Yeah. But then you also have some of those schools who, you don't have your vaccinations, it's fine. Like, no, it's not fine. Like, my little son does not need to contact what your little son has. Like,
get vaccinated. Your peppermint, eucalyptus essential oils aren't doing anything.
Vaccinate your crotch goblins, please. Because my crotch goblins don't need to die at the age of 9.
Like, we need 95% vaccinations for herd immunity, and I think we're only at, like, 91 right now with the population. So that's why all these diseases are coming back, because we're not at that 95.
Yeah, and I really hope that maybe after this, a whole virus is controlled and they do have this vaccine, maybe the people who aren't vaccinating see what a pandemic can do.
Exactly.
Kind of like, maybe we should go, because it's never
I wonder
too late.
how they're feeling. You know,
Right.
like, this is what happens when there's not a vaccine for something. Like, you're seeing how many people are dying.
Right, like, and most of those are the people who are like, oh, this is a scare tactic. This is just for election. But when
people are dying, Kim.
Like, my thing is, you see how this pandemic is doing? We ran out of toilet paper. We ran out of coins.
What you gonna wipe your ass with next time?
Peppermint leaves.
Shit, I knew when the news hit there was gonna be another second wave and stuff. I went to like Walmart a couple days later. No toilet paper again. I was like, I got Crohn's. I need toilet paper.
It's sad because now we're gonna, when this hit, toilet paper gone, food gone, main essential food gone. It even if it wasn't the good food, it was gone.
Yeah.
Cleaning supplies gone.
You know all that stuff sitting in their cabinets. They're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I need Spam. We're gonna run out of food.
And now it's like, did you really need it? Have you used it yet? How close is the expiration date on it? Please tell me.
how much do you make a year? That will tell me if you're really gonna eat this Spam.
Right, like, have you ever had to eat Spam? Like, have your kids ever had to eat Spam?
It's not hot dogs. It looks like hot dogs. It's not hot dogs.
Definitely don't taste like hot dogs either, so, I'm sorry, but can you leave it for the poor folk who can't hardly cook and feed their children? Then it went from that to people who were taking diapers. Baby diapers.
Wipes.
They took wipes and baby diapers. Then they start stocking up on formula like you're gonna... I'm sorry, but if we run out of food, formula isn't going to help you. My baby needs it before you do. Like,
right, like 30-year-olds or your cousin trying formula. Yeah, no adult's gonna eat that.
Right. When it made her throw up instantly,
Yeah.
and it was blood, that should warn you. Please don't go stock up on baby formula if you don't have a fucking child that needs it. Don't take diapers. Don't take wipes. If you're gonna take wipes, take the fucking flushable ones for adults.
There are no flushable ones. Oh my god. My freaking laundry room and bathroom downstairs over flooded with shit water.
Ugh.
Because people were putting wipes down the drain, and I got babies and I use wipes and stuff, but no matter what, I'm throwing them away. I'm not flushing them.
Yeah.
So I got, the shit water, even though I'm the one that's not flushing them, because people were using them instead of the toilet paper.
Yeah, because now they have all this extra shit and they gotta use it.
Like, I hope you guys know that's like $8,000 in damages if you do it to your own house. So
Yeah, just
leave the wipes to the babies. We know what we're doing.
Right, like, thank you for living in a rental apartment, because that is the only way that was gonna get fixed. But yeah, it's gotten out of control, and the fact that now hopefully this kind of opens some people's eyes, like, maybe I should vaccinate, because it's never too late to vaccinate your children. Vaccinate yourself, because half of these parents who aren't vaccinating their kids are vaccinated their goddamn selves. So, please, vaccinate your kids. You're vaccinated, you're alive, you're fine.
Let's jump into some questions so that our audience can get to know us a little better. So with our first question, if you could talk to 18-year-old you, what would you tell them?
Don't worry. You're going to be a good mom. Just take care of that baby and leave. Get out. Go home. Listen to your mother. You don't need him. You don't need the father. You don't need the father's family. You have your family. You can do it on your own. So I think, hopefully, if I was to go back, I would take that advice, because at that point in time, I was in love with somebody that I thought was in love with me, so yeah. But, that's a hard subject for some people.
I think a lot of people need to be told that. Like, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, like mom groups and stuff, and it's a lot of, my husband does this, he stays out late, doesn't help with anything, and it's like, just leave.
It is, and it's hard for somebody to just up and leave, especially if you have a lot of time invested with that person. Especially when you're a teenager and that person traps you with a child. So, I understand where a lot of them come from, but it takes their own time to realize, hey, I'm not valued. I need to get the heck up out of here, out of this relationship, and hopefully things will be better. So the next question that we have is, what is something people seem to misunderstand about you?
Oh goodness. Well, people like to say like I'm abrasive or too like blunt with how I say things, and I don't know. I've always been told I have resting bitch face or I look mean and stuff, but I'm a nice person. Like, I am severely empathetic towards people. You tell me something's wrong with you and I'm sad for you. Like, I will go into a deep depression over something you tell me.
I mean, I can vouch for that. You are very, like, we need to get through this. What do you want to hear? What can I do? But you are very abrasive. You are very blunt. But that's for people who, like, are just kind of coming across you. I've seen you grow from 16 to what you are now, and I've seen where you were completely scared out of your wits, and so now you've kind of grown into your own self, like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. Like,
I think it's because, like, I was that person that strangers would just come up to and, like, tell me their stories and, want advice and all that, and I just I didn't want to just listen. Like, I want a solution for you. I don't want you to sit there in agony and be miserable. I want us to figure this out. And I tend to use my, logical side of the brain more than the emotional, and things come out wrong, and I just seem like a bitch, and it's like, I'm trying to help.
I'm trying to help you, but I just don't know how to, like, I don't have the emotion to help you. Yeah. Like, I know the logic to help you.
I just want to fix this.
But I can't emotionally show you what to do. I can't,
And my facial expressions don't help at all.
No, especially when you're like, somebody's just blah, 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 blah. And you're zoning out, but you're listening, so your face just kind of slowly gets even meaner and meaner and meaner, so
that's probably, like, the biggest thing people misunderstand, because you hear it sometimes out of people, like, their friends and stuff, like, oh, I thought you were a bitch when we first met, but you're actually, you're funny, you're kind of cool, like, stuff like that. Yeah. I hear that a lot.
Yeah, no. At that point, I'm just like, well, if you would have got to know me a little bit sooner, now I'm just going to be a bitch, because you thought I was a bitch.
And I thought that about you at first. When we first met, I was like, this chick is aggressive. She's going to beat my ass.
I had to, like, they threw you at me on a Friday night in a restaurant, and it was a pizza place, so it's like, yeah, I have to, like, no, you have to listen, you have to do it this way, you have to get this done, we're getting behind, listen to me.
And the next thing you know, the manager's like, she's crying in the freezer, you gotta go get her.
I wasn't even on that part of the fucking restaurant. I was in the kitchen, I was cooking, you were up front. I got took off of my whole ass bar to come get you, like I was your keeper, and I'm like, I just looked at him, I was like,
it wasn't even about me. They're just like, we don't have a host now.
Like, our cashier's gone. Our host is gone. Nobody else can cover. She needs to get out here. You're the only one who talks to her. Go find her. I'm like, I don't even know the girl. Like, I trained her for what, a week? Right. A week, maybe, right? So.
And then you made me feel better, and I was like, can we be friends?
Yeah, and then somehow your dad found out about me. Then your dad found out I had a kid. So, I had that whole interrogation.
My dad interrogates everyone that walks to the door. It's like, oh, I'm going to go hang out with my friend Shirley. Who's Shirley? Where's she live? How old is she? Any kids? Like, God.
Yeah, no, but, I mean, your dad's crazy, so I guess it's like a win-win.
Just do a background check, dude.
Like, do you want my social security card? Because I can give you it.
Right.
At this point, do you just want my full life story? Because I can sit here with
Pretty
you.
much. And I don't know if it's because he wants to know, like, who they are, if he's just nosy. He just wants the tea.
I think he just wants... Man, I will never forget. I lived at that house on C Street, and it was like 2 in the morning, and I was sitting up, and I was watching TV with Tim. Your dad calls me, flipping the fuck out, cussing me out thinking I'm you, and he's like, you're fucking lying. And I'm like, no, my husband and me are sitting here in bed. Like,
no, this is Erica.
This is Erica. I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, is she there? I'm like, no, she's not here. That's like, then you should have told him I was there. Bitch, I didn't know what we were doing. I didn't know this lie. I didn't know what happened. I just know your father just cussed me out like I was one of his children, and I met the man once.
Yeah, you want to know a funny story about that? So, when I had met Brandon, my now husband, we were, I'd go over to his house and we'd hang out and, I'd spend the night. But I'd always tell my dad I'm hanging out with you or I'm staying with you. So come to find out, my sister tells me the other day, we were talking about something, and she's like, yeah, like how you used to tell Dad that you were going to Erica's, but you were at Brandon's. I was like, how'd you know that? She's like, Dad. I was like, if he knew the whole time, why'd he make me lie?
I just wanted to see how long it would take for you to tell.
I would have told her the shit. I'd be like, I'm staying at Brandon's. I mean, I was 20 years old.
I know there was times where you would have to park your car in front of either my mom's house or my house, depending on where I lived, and act like you were there, so if he drove past, your car was there. And
you gotta get intricate with this shit when you got strict parents.
And my mom's eventually like, why is her car here? She's not here, Erica. What is she doing? I'm like, Mom, I don't know.
Right, and that's when your parents started being my parents. Like, what are you doing?
Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Like, what's wrong?
I think they just didn't want me to get knocked up. They're like, I mean, I already got a daughter that did this shit. Like, just...
Please have one friend that don't have a kid. Please have one friend that, like, at this point in life.
Yeah, now we got the same amount.
We won't go there right now. Do you want to ask the next question?
Let's do, what's the weirdest kink you have?
Why did I get asked this question? So we're going to retort for this, and you're going to have to answer this. I don't really think that it's, like, a weird kink for me, but there's something about, like, stainless steel when it's really cold that I have to, like, I love it.
Like you would hump your fridge?
No, not like that. Like, but like chains, like wallet chains, or there was like the handcuff things, but like they were metal ones instead. They were chain linked ones of those. Yeah. There's been times where like he's used a knife, like just rubbed it across my skin, like the open blade, like that to me, I don't know what it is, but I think it's like the chill of it.
You like the whole sociopathic getting kidnapped?
Like I want to die. Please just murder me. Like we'll do necrophilia.
Well, okay, does it have to be metal or is it like ice cubes?
Ice cubes work to a point, but like then it's like just wet and annoying. And, like the metal works long enough to at least get it going and get the role play done and over with, and he knows that, so I don't have to like, can you do this? Can we do this? So it's not like I have to walk him through this.
I get it. That's probably not the weirdest one. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, metal. Like,
yeah, I'm sure. Like, we're not vanilla in the least, but he's not really experienced a lot of things. So when I like throw something at him, he's kind of like standoffish. I don't know if I want to do that. Right
now, I'm working on pegging. I'm trying to make like subliminal hints to him.
I don't know if your husband.
He won't. He never will. But
I know for a fact my husband would never. He'd probably kick my ass out of the house for suggesting it. But I don't know. I feel like your husband might. He's a little weird.
I think I got you beat on the kinks, though.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I can't get any kinks out because I don't have somebody who wants to, like, experience that. So.
Vanilla.
Yeah.
No. I don't know. It's gotten to a problem where I've joined a group of people that share the same passion because I felt like an outsider for this, but Gordon Ramsay.
Okay, so I need to know about this because I must be behind on this kink.
Well, yeah, I'm a foodie and whatnot, so I don't know, just anytime he makes a dish, I know it tastes good, and I want it in my mouth, and then I associate this mouth watering to Gordon, and I don't know, it just became a kink. Like, he's got the best insults, and it's like, yeah, call me a hog roast sandwich.
Oh my god.
I got a problem. I swear to God, there is a kink group specifically for him because of the stuff he says and like the food he makes. It just gets all mashed together.
I mean, I don't. Okay.
I think my husband's got the same kink because anytime he makes something, he like rubs his meat like like his steak.
The food, right?
His steaks and stuff. And he's like, man, Gordon Ramsay would love this.
And I'm sorry, but your husband's food would not be loved by Gordon Ramsay.
It's fucking raw. If I could take any like audio clip from Gordon Ramsay, it'd be that, and just play it over and over because everything he makes is raw. He's like, oh no, it's just it's medium rare, and it's like it's chicken.
That's why I can't eat at your house because everything's always fucking raw, and I'm not trying to die because of him.
Right.
No. That is a very different kink, I guess. If I had to like associate a kink with a person, it would probably be like Jamie Madrox or somebody, but it wouldn't be fucking Gordon Ramsay.
That's obscure. Why him?
Because he is fucking immaculate. He is just the perfect little human. I love him to death. And it just, you know, the way their music is and a lot of things that they talk about. It's even Boondocks, who has very explicit songs, but I couldn't look at him like that. I just think he's too country-ish for me.
You know what I find aggravating yet so pleasing is that me and you growing up listening to ICP, you know, all of them, their group, and getting made fun of, and you know, we're the outcasts, and like, why would you listen to that? Why would you listen to music about people cutting their heads off? Yeah,
people having sex while they're getting stabbed, and
right, like it's like the Serbia film of music. But you know, we'd get picked on for all this and like, oh, juggalos, all that. Well, now everyone's worshiping ICP like they are the best of the best, you know.
A lot of it started too is when, because they actually, the members of the actual ICP, Jay and Violent J and Shaggy, they both just helped Chris Hemsworth, or not Hemsworth, but
Hanson.
They helped him catch a predator. Like, it was all over the news. It was a big thing. Like, they set it up. They helped. And I'm like, how have you all not seen this coming? Like, they have an actual fucking song called Catch a Predator.
Yeah, and people are like, oh, they made this song. They made it. Like, yeah.
Years ago, motherfucker. Years ago. Like,
well, the media used to portray them as, you know, gangs and all this stuff. It's like, that's not even close to what it is.
no, if you listen to them, like, most of their songs are about killing. They are about killing. But who they're killing in the songs are women abusers, children abusers, bigots, you know. Like, it's not, oh, we're going to go kill this random bitch on the corner. No, it's these people who did something that they deserve it. Like,
and in their interviews, like, you find out, like, they love their family. They donate to all these charities. They're so involved in their community. Like, I saw a news article a couple months ago. Violent J, he seriously, like, made a do you know fursunas? He made a fursuit of himself as a juggalo, as like a fox or something, for his daughter because she was into that stuff. I don't think she's into it anymore, but he just wanted to be involved in her life, and people are like, wait, they're not psychos?
no, they're really not. Like, you have to listen to the music. That's most people just automatically, they hear the lyrics, but it's like, you have to listen to the lyrics and kind of think about what they're saying. And that's how all of the groups in that record were. Like, they've all split off now because things kind of happen, but they all still have that same we are against, any kind of abuse. We're against child abuse, women abuse. Even, if a man's being abused, they are against it. They're against all of that. And it's, people look at them and they see their music videos and they're like, what the fuck? Like, how are these people even allowed to rap? And it's just...
They'd never be played on the radio, ever.
Oh, no. Even with this big story that they just did, they're never going to get...
Their music gets passed down generations. The only reason I knew ICP was because my dad. Like, it got passed down.
Like, yeah, yeah.
And your mom listened to him, she passed down the music
it's
to
like,
you.
It kills me. And then you have people like, oh, I'm a juggalo, but you only know one song. Like, you can't just know one song and claim
Homies.
that. Yeah, and that's always the same one. It's always that or what is a juggalo. And it's like, just because you know the song doesn't mean you are. So, we're going to get off that, because that's another topic that really gets me pissy, I guess we should say.
It's these people starting to respect ICP, and it's like, you didn't like me when I was a juggalo.
Right, when I wore all of their shirts. I went to school every day in their shirts. I always had some kind of medallion with the Hatchet Man on it, and I got picked on and bullied and called names. But now you want to wear it, now you want to claim it, and it's like, okay, whatever. More power to you. Have fun.
Alright, we'll move on to the next thing then. Alright, do you believe in aliens?
Okay, so I'm not like a firm believer where, yes, they are out there for sure. They come here. My thought is, if there are aliens, because who's to say the universe is huge, I don't think they would take their time to come to Earth to visit our dumbasses. They have to be way more advanced than us. They would be way more advanced than us in order to even have some kind of thing that could, a spacecraft or whatever you want to call it, that could travel that far, depending on where they're at in the universe.
Yeah, because it'd have to be like billions of light years
right
away.
I don't feel like they're wasting their time. Like, you see that blue planet over there that's kind of rotting away, and it's looks like it's getting smaller, it's catching fire a lot. I don't think, but maybe we should go look and see what they can offer us. Why would they want, if they came here, it would be to grab the elite, like the smart people, the fucking people who could change things, and take them away from us so we could just shrivel up, die, and they could be the only things living.
They breathe eugenics, and they breathe them.
Right, like, I don't think they would waste their time with us. Do you believe in them?
I mean, I don't know, like you said, the universe is so big, and it's like, there's another planet like us, like, Mars was so close to being like this. If they had, if it had been just a little bit closer to the sun, it would have been a Earth.
Yeah.
So obviously there's other planets like that, whether it be exactly humans or, some type of organism, microorganisms. Those are out there. As far as it comes to, like, people seeing UFOs and, aliens and all this weird stuff happening, I'm starting to lean more towards, now laugh at me, that the things people are seeing in the skies and, like, stuff happening so rapidly, like 1 second, we're fine, and then the next there's a pandemic, I'm starting to lean towards time travelers.
Time travelers.
They always say, if there were time travelers, they'd come back to us and, tell us and whatnot. And it's like,
maybe.
What if they are? What if they're messing with things and now we got COVID?
Like, maybe somebody came back, fucked with something, and now that butterfly effect has already taken. That's why we have fucking coronavirus.
Like,
and
things happening. I laughed at it at first, but then, like, the murder hornets, came up, and then it was just gone. Nobody talked about it anymore. And it's like, are they gone? Like, did somebody go back and squish an ant, and now there's no more murder hornets? Like,
I know they just caught one in somewhere. Somewhere just caught one, and they are, like, examining it or some shit like that to try and get an antidote for it. But it wasn't as big as a deal as they made it seem. Like, at least to me, because I seen it once, maybe twice in coverage, but then it was like, boom, gone. Like, wait, We're not going to talk about this.
Did it happen or not? Like, a lot of things that are happening now, it's like, did that happen? Or am I just remembering things weird? Because you get one day of coverage and then it's gone.
Yeah, and it's like, I swear yesterday we were talking about something that could have killed us, even another thing that's going to kill us. Like,
it just seems like just extreme things are happening so far. I feel like somebody killed a butterfly somewhere.
I mean, I didn't even think about it like that, but, you know, it could be. It really, because maybe in the future we are in flying cars and, you know, a spaceship is regular transportation, and maybe that is what these UFOs are.
Or that's the time travel machine. That's how they get around to different
travel, like, times. Like,
yeah.
that's how they fly through time so quick. I didn't think of it like that, but that's a good way to, like, look at it. So, we're on this topic. Let's talk about, like, paranormal other than aliens. Like, your feelings on either spirits or angels, demons.
Do you want to get into that? Do you honestly?
I do, because I think this podcast episode could be one of the ones that we push through, and I think this is how people are going to get to know us. If they want to deal with us after they listen to our opinions.
After I just said everyone misunderstands me as a bitch, now you're going to call me out.
I need to know how you feel, because we've been friends, 6 years? 7 years?
Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? Because
you go first. Let's see how, because I go first all the time. So let's...
Okay, I'll go first, and then you disprove me.
Okay.
Ghosts aren't real.
Okay.
Ghosts aren't real. There's no dark energy. You cannot... It's not Newton's law. There's no dark energy. You can't feel energy. You can feel electricity static.
But that's what they a lot of people say, that they're not actually ghosts. It's just they're electrical beings. That's what you feel is the electrical field.
I don't know. It's your pipes. Your pipes are making noises.
Like
You're
that,
scared
yes.
of your house creaking.
I understand that, but I'm talking about places that people go into and they feel these things when there's absolutely no power.
They're lying.
They're lying?
They're either they need to go into a psych ward, they've got mental problems, something's wrong with them, they're schizophrenic, or they're lying. I'll tell a story. It's gonna make me seem stupid and a hypocrite. So when I was at my brother's funeral, when I was looking at his pictures in the back of the room, I thought I had felt a cold hand on my shoulder. Like, and it felt kind of, reassuring. And I thought for the longest, that was my brother, And it made me cry, and I felt some type of way about it. But now, I'm like, I was depressed. I was in a wrong state of mind, and I just wanted him to be there one last time. And so my brain manifested this hand to reassure me. Because our brains are infinite. They can do anything. Hallucinations. We can see things that aren't actually there. Our brain can do a lot more than people realize.
Oh, I believe that. I know that.
If you believe in ghosts, then obviously your ghosts are going to happen to you.
But there are people who believe it doesn't happen to. Think about it. Like, I'm not disproving you, because I understand where you're coming from. But they do say that a lot of people who have that encounter is they have it when they need it the most.
Right.
So, maybe it was what you thought it was, but you, being so fucking logical, had to come up with a reason so you would stop crying over it because you don't like having emotions.
It's not that I don't like having emotions. I just want an answer.
Exactly. And you wanted to disprove it before you tried to prove it.
Maybe it's just these ghost shows, because...
You can't watch those. That's the issue. A lot of this stuff, they get paid for that.
But people watch these and they still believe in ghosts. It's like, you are in the heart of Germany in the 1700s. What makes you think that ghost is gonna speak plain English? What makes you think that ghost is gonna... Hey, twerk for me. If a ghost is here, yell yeet. Like... and then you gotta like, yeet, yeet.
I can't with you.
Like, don't you think they'd speak German?
I mean, yeah, and that's the issue. A lot of people take these ghost shows, and that's where they automatically start disproving things. But I think if somebody was to go to one of these, haunted places on their own, no thought about it, and they went in there, I feel like if they had an experience, it would be something that was more relative to what they were at. Let's say if they were in an old hospital, like the one in Kentucky, that everybody fucking talks about.
Mm-hmm.
They went there alone, did the investigation alone, nobody there. I feel like if they had something, it would be more of a residual thing of somebody who was in that hospital that would be talking about something relative to that hospital. Not answering questions that they're asking. Like, that I understand. Like, if there are ghosts in the world, I don't feel like they want to take their fucking time, their last precious amount of time.
What's your name? Dude, I done answered this. I've been answering this for 50 years.
Like, just let me be here alone. Like, I died here. I'm stuck here. That's all that fucking matters.
Y'all keep leaving cups around for me to knock over. It's pissing me off.
You wanna know why that cup ain't fucking moved? Because I ain't fucking moving it for you. I ain't your goddamn slave. I ain't your mom. I'll pick it up.
That's why these glasses breaks and stuff. It's like, I just cleaned this place.
Like, I told them motherfuckers. I don't know why they can't hear me. I don't know why they ain't listening. But pick up after your goddamn selves. No.
If you believe so strongly in ghosts, let me ask this. What's your ghost experience?
My ghost experience. I was probably 6 months pregnant. And I was home alone. Completely alone. I got out of mom's old tub. You know, that real low fucking...
Yeah.
And they had that towel bar that hasn't been there for years. But I got out of the shower, and as soon as I got out of the shower, I slipped on her rug that was there, and I went to fall. And as I was falling, I went to land on my stomach, like right on my stomach, and I grabbed the towel
Like
bar.
on the side of the tub?
Like on the floor between the toilet and the wall, because I was heading out of the tub.
Yeah.
So I went to fall, and I grabbed that towel bar, and as I grabbed that towel bar, all I could hear was somebody say, "Be careful, sweetheart." And, like, I drew back, and I walked out in the hallway, and I was, like, looked around, and nobody was home. There was no fucking phone, because I dropped my phone in the toilet, like, 2 days before, so I didn't have a phone. I didn't have, there was nothing there. You know, that bathroom has no window. It has...
No.
There was nothing there.
Yeah.
So that was what... To me, when I was like, okay. Like, that doesn't make sense for me. Like, it wouldn't... A scratch in the wall wouldn't have been so fucking clear to me. You know, and then growing up, we lived in fucking Felicity, and they had that old farmhouse, and I seen my uncle who had passed away, not the one that, like, my Uncle Larry that everybody knows.
Yeah.
But another uncle, he was really a cousin.
Not the one on the shelf.
Yeah, not the one. Well, technically he is on the shelf, but it's not the one that everybody knows. This is...
Erica's family keeps all her dead relatives on her shelf in the living room.
No, they're in a box in my mom's room right now because of the remodel, but, that, and they don't want Scarlett to pull them off and play in them. And
yeah, that'd be a little fucked up.
Yeah, so they're put up right now, but, no, we had that old house, and there was, like, steps that went upstairs. And he was a cousin, but we called him Uncle. He had died in a car crash, and it was, like, maybe a month later, and I was only 4 or 5. And I wouldn't go up them steps. Because that was his room. We wasn't allowed, like, don't come up here. He was very stern, don't come up here. So we would always walk past to get to our room. And we walked past, and the door was open, and on the steps, he was sitting there. Like, dead on sitting there. Like, I seen him. That scared the living shit out of me. Like, forever. That's my main thing that I always think about is, I know I seen him, because he looked dead at me. He was a solid fucking person. Like, I know I sound crazy, but no, like, I really did see him. And being so young, like, I didn't remember, I didn't know what was death. I didn't know he's not supposed to be there. I just know that he hadn't been there for, like, a month, and then all of a sudden he's sitting there. So that scared I was done. I ran straight down to my uncle's room. I was like, so Danny's upstairs. And
oh, God. I bet
like,
you scared him.
He's like, what? I'm like, Danny, he's sitting on his steps. Like, what are we supposed to do? And he's like, you just stay right here. Like, I'm going to go upstairs, and I'm going to talk to Danny and tell him he scared you. And then he came back down after he went upstairs for, like, a minute and a half. And I was like,
Do you think he went up there like, dude, quit it?
I think he went up there and he shut the door. Because when I went back up there, the door was shut. And, like, 2 days later, there was a bolt and stuff on the door. So, like...
Damn.
Because he was, like... all of his stuff was still there. Like, we didn't move it. We never went up there.
So even if, like, if their ghosts are real, like, there was a strong spiritual connection, like, all his stuff was
He still there. Like, his mom didn't... His mom was all the way in Florida. And we were all the way in the, like, far end of Ohio. So, like, we wasn't going to mail that shit back. We wasn't going to get it on a plane and ship it to her. Like, it wasn't going to happen. So, yeah, his clothes, his shoes, the cigarettes that he was smoking the day he left, the pack of cigarettes, because he always sat on his steps to smoke because he didn't have a window upstairs. The window was right by the door.
Mm-hmm.
So his beer and his cigarettes was sitting on that fucking step, and it never got moved. Because my Uncle Larry just wouldn't touch it. Like, he couldn't bring himself to do it. So he would always sit the step above where his stuff was sitting, so he could just reach down, grab it, drink, sit it back down. So it was all sitting right there. His shoes were on the other side.
Y'all are just inviting the bitches in.
Like, those were my two, like that one was like, you know, I was young, maybe, but then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, everything he owned, all of his possessions, pictures of his kids that he never got to see anymore, like, everything was in that room. And then he's automatically there again, like, a month. Just a month. It was a month. Why wait a fucking month? Like, and me.
Right, me.
Like, I was 4, 5. Like, yeah, thanks. Fuck you too. Like, I'm done. I quit. So, but I can't bash on people who don't believe, because that's everybody's personal preference. Like,
Well, another thing that makes me, I don't have any, like, personal experiences that I can be like, oh, yeah, definitely. Because the other one I can think of off the top of my head was at school. And I was at my locker, and people were class changing and all that, and I was getting my books out. And I keep hearing my name, but it's, like, not like a friend, like, oh, Haley, like, out off in the hallway or something, or coming up on me. It was like, Haley. Like, whispers in my ear and stuff. And I'm, like, looking around for somebody, and nobody's near me. And I didn't have no damn friends. So I know it wasn't the people next to me getting their books. They're not saying my name. But the weird thing was like, I was looking around, and these people were looking at me.
like you could see other...
Like, they could hear it, too, or something. And, I just figured I was schizophrenic, just muttering my own name, and that's why everyone was staring at me. They're like, why just...
Or it could have been like you kind of looking around, like, it had nothing to do with you.
Quick turns up and down the hallway.
That was probably why they were looking.
Step back. Who was that?
This bitch is crazy.
So that's why I'm like, all my experiences are so stupid. I just, like, if there is a ghost following me, like, you're a dick.
Like, come on, step your game up. Like, let's do something here. I think that maybe, like, I don't know, maybe you can go out and you can try. Just go in open-minded, how other people go in thinking about things, and see if you can get a definite, I want to say, like, experience, but
I'm not trying to piss them off, though. Like, when I come to your house, I joke, but I don't want to be like, hey, come possess me. Like,
you're afraid. Like, that's your issue. If you go in afraid, they know you're afraid. That's going to be your problem. And then you go in and they know that you're skeptical. So they're like, I'm not even going to waste my time with this bitch. Like, she ain't going to believe
She going to listen to me?
Like, no matter if I slap this bitch across the face, she ain't going to believe it was me. She's just going to think something happened. Some wind hit her or some shit. That's the problem that a lot of people have. They go in very skeptical, and then that shit's not real. I didn't have any experience. Well,
that's the people they need to please, is the skeptics.
Well, they don't want to please the skeptics because they're tired of trying to please you motherfuckers, because you're like, oh, that was the wind. Oh, that was electric, but there's no electric in this place. That was the pipes. There's no pipes in this place, but that was the pipes. Like, that that's the big issue there. But everybody has their
conspiracy
own
theories on another day. Because
opinions.
me and you seem to have very
just like Bigfoot.
differing
I don't believe in Bigfoot.
views
I think if Bigfoot
on
is real, just leave that motherfucker alone because he can crush you with a fucking hand.
I'd like to see your thoughts.
He's just trying to live his
a
life in
couple
peace
more
and quiet, and you
I
motherfuckers
get
won't leave
deep
him
into
alone.
Alright, why are people trying to find him? Just leave him
But there's
be.
why I want to talk about that.
Nobody wants to see that.
I feel like if he is a thing,
Alright, well I'll have to
How
have
can
to
he
read up
be
on that because I don't
in
know
every
about that.
continent
I know like the
fucking
big
face of the
ones.
earth. Like
He turns into what's the Loch Ness monster? It's
El
Bigfoot, and then he
Chupacabra.
turns into the Loch Ness monster and swims across the sea.
right, like he just somehow he does this. Like no, but people say it's like it's an animal species. It's a species. Okay, then why is there only one in every continent? Why is it?
It's the same one. His name's Henry.
Right, like, this motherfucker just wants to live his life. He's not killing nobody. He may be killing animals, but he ain't killing no people. And if he is, he's hiding their bodies very fucking well. So why are we looking for him? Because next thing you know, you're gonna be the one dead.
The shows on him are so stupid too, and that's another thing. It's just like the ghost shows, but worse because they don't even fake their experiences. Like they set up those night cameras and stuff, and they literally the whole show is you sitting there for 25 minutes watching these damn cameras, and you see a deer walk by, and they're like, we didn't catch him today, but we know he's out there, and it's every single episode.
Yeah, I can't watch them. I get so aggravated because I'm like, this is fucking. That's like there's a monster show on Travel Channel, and it's like they're looking for like famous monsters or some shit, and I'm like, dude, they never catch anything. When they do catch something, it's a regular animal, so they have to let it go. But it's like, why? Why do we pay these motherfuckers to watch this shit? Like, who watches this religiously where it's still fucking running?
They're getting paid somewhere because they're still on air.
Right, like, something's happening here. Like, do you all just like making us look like fools? So, I don't know. That's my opinion on that. You can have yours.
And that's all the time we have for today. If you have any topics you want us to discuss or need advice, you can email us at nightlybrewadvice@gmail.com. And as always, have a wonderful night.